What is going on, regulars, and hello to any BookTube community members or viewers who are now watching. So I've done a couple reviews now, and I've been planning to do the new To BookTube tag pretty much since I started this, but I wanted to get those first couple reviews out to just kind of like play with format and all that. So now that they're out, and I'm trying to watch more BookTube videos and commenting, I figured today was actually a good chance to do the new To BookTube tag. And this was originally created by, I think it's, is it Between the Chapters, I think is her name. I can't remember now. Regardless, I will put the description down in the regular spot so you guys can go follow that and watch the original video, see the list of questions, and if you haven't made a new To BookTube tag video, then make one. If you're, interested in that. Anyway, here we go! Where are you joining us from? I actually live in kind of a small town called Leland, North Carolina. It's right outside of Wilmington, North Carolina, where I used to live, in an apartment. And then I, got a house and decided it would probably be better to be outside of the city. So here I am. But I tell everybody Wilmington because I'm basically in Wilmington. How old are you? 36. Why did you join BookTube? Partially, it's because I was looking for something that I could do with my channel that would provide regular content, because I've been really bad about that over the years. I'll fall into what I think is going to be fun, and then I kind of burn out on it. But I've always loved reading, and I've always loved talking about books. So I figured this was something that I could do that would actually, sustain my interest for a while. Also, I got really intrigued by the community when I went to the BookTube panel at this year's VidCon. What is the meaning behind your channel name? Okay, so my YouTube username, like my channel name, is really regularguy5mb. And that came about through a couple of earlier instances of film production and trying to create a group of filmmakers. And my initial attempt was when I got together with a group of friends, and we called ourselves the 5 Regular Guys, because initially there were 4 of us, so that was going to be the joke. It's like, who's the 5th? And then we got more than 5, so it was still kind of a joke. It's like, there's 5 regular guys, but there's like 20 of us. And nothing ever really came of that. I tried to actually turn that into a vlog project in the vein of Vlog Brothers and 5 Awesome Girls and 5 Awesome Guys, and that didn't work out either. So, but I still use the name. I use it for everything. It's simple, and typically it's available. The MB came from another production company that I came up with called Media Blitzkrieg, which is actually I have a YouTube channel set up for that as well, where I post any short films and film-related projects that I do. So that's the MB portion of the username. But with the newer YouTube system connected to Google+, you'll probably see my name just listed as William Red, a regular guy. But that's where the regular guy came from, because, like I said, I've used it for so long, it's just kind of naturally occurring in anything I do online. What kind of books do you read or want to talk about? It's probably actually a lot quicker just to start with the books that I don't read. Sports. Don't really read anything regarding sports, unless it's a fictional book that just happens to be about people playing sports. But actual, nonfiction books on sports, I have no real interest in at all. Who are some of your favorite authors? Neil Gaiman, Alan Moore, John Green, Maureen Johnson, Philip Jose Farmer, Gregory MacDonald, who writes the Fletch series of novels, Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, Hunter S. Thompson, Philip K. Dick, and I have to give it to Mike Mignola, because I will consume anything Hellboy related, and he's the creator. So whether it's his name or somebody else writing anything with the Hellboy title listed on it, I will at least give a shot. What's the last book you read? That would be Voices from the Street by Philip K. Dick. One of his earlier novels that wasn't published until just a couple years ago. Pre-sci-fi Philip K. Dick. It's an interesting read. It's very dark, but definitely a good read. What are you currently reading? Well, having just mentioned Hellboy, it's actually Bones of Giants, which is a Hellboy novel written by Christopher Golden and illustrated by Mike Mignola. What do you use for bookmarks? Primarily, I use movie ticket stubs, but I'll use theater ticket stubs. I use sporting event ticket stubs. I got like some from college back here in the back, but I keep every ticket stub I ever get, I keep in this little baggie, and I just save it. And whenever I start a new book, I'll go through and find something that I feel like is related to the book, or just grab whichever one's on top. Also, fortune cookie fortunes, and sometimes I wind up using receipts. Pretty much anything I can grab at the moment, but typically I try to keep to that bag. Show us your current TBR pile. Okay, but remember, you asked. Okay, I figured I'd actually start with the books that are behind me in the video. So anything that is resting on its side and not properly sitting up on a shelf like these, those would be my TBR. So this pile, everything back in there that's sitting on its side, which is a lot. Actually, I went ahead and placed some of these in order, and I do need to read them. These are college textbooks. These are all technology related. That pile down there. This pile over here. Pile. Oh, those are movies. Okay, pile. Oh, books back there. Books back there. Hey, look, there's my Dr. Seuss. Books back there. This pile right here. These over here. I got the Dark Tower, the first 3 Dark Tower books down there. I'm actually going to reread those very soon. There's a pile over there with my graphic novels. This is actually the one pile that is sitting like this that has been read. All of these have been read, but I just need a box for them. Need to read all of these. And then there's actually books that I bought, everything in that box. All of these, those. Then there are books in there, more on this side, more there, and then there's all of those. Most of these are actually library haul books. I go to library sales and buy whatever looks interesting, so that's the majority of these. Some of these are books that just I haven't read yet and then have been sitting in my TBR pile for a while. Those are all from library sale. See, the Tupperware container there is full of books. That is full of books that I plan to read soon. That's why they're packaged so they can travel. Like I said, you asked, which do you prefer, hardcover or paperback? I have to say, honestly, I do prefer hardcover. Because, I think part of it is just, my own aesthetic. I prefer having this, heavy duty hardcover, nice dust jacket just on the shelf. It looks so good. Ebooks or physical? I definitely got to go with the physical here, because I'm still, I feel like I bridged the generation gap, and part of me, I still have this kind of, it's not really a fear, but it's, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. It's I guess a distrust of digital information packets, because I know that they're just a series of ones and zeros, and one good magnetic swipe could just destroy the entire thing. So I don't. It's the same with digital copies of movies. I don't trust them. I'd rather have the physical copy, because nothing's gonna happen to that physical copy unless it's burned or mangled. But there's so much less of a chance that a physical copy is gonna be destroyed completely. Owning or borrowing? I do prefer owning books, but that's just me, because sometimes when I pick up a book, I'm not 100% ready to read it at that exact moment. And so when I get something from the library or borrow it from a friend, or have a friend lend it to me saying, you have to read this, it becomes kind of a struggle, because I'm holding on to it much longer than I probably would, or that I should. And that, again, that's just me, but For me, owning the book, I know I can just like put it away, it sits on a shelf for a while, and then when I'm ready to come to it, I can pick it up. What book or series got you into reading? Both of my parents are educators, so from a very early age, it was very important that, you know, my sister and I be read to and learn to read. So books have kind of always been in my life, and it's hard to pinpoint the exact book that really got me interested. But early on, I would have to say that comics were a big influence on me because I enjoyed the artwork, and it was, you know, there was that bridge between, you know, watching a movie or TV show and reading a book, because you got the visuals, but you also have, you know, the word balloons and the descriptions, so you're reading as well. And I just remember learning like all of these, you know, kind of like bigger words as a kid from comics, because comic book writers weren't talking down to the audience. They were, you know, they were writing essentially for themselves. So, you know, I was exposed very early on to these kind of like big words and grandiose terms. And it got me interested. I was like, ooh, that's a cool word. What does that mean? Aside from that, I would also have to say that Dr. Seuss was a huge influence on me growing up. Also, I was big into reading the Hardy Boys mysteries when I was younger. But really, like any book that, you know, my mom was okay with me picking up, I was in. How did you discover BookTube? VidCon, really. I remember hearing about BookTube VidCon 2014, and it was one of those just things that kind of stuck in the back of my head. So I knew it was out there, but I didn't do the diligent research to actually look it up and figure out exactly what it was, because I get sidetracked easily. So it actually wasn't until VidCon 2015, this past year, that I finally actually went to the BookTube panel and found out what it was all about, and just, it really interested me, and now here I am. What challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? For me, that is definitely going to be just scheduling and regular content, because that has always been what my problem was as far as making YouTube videos. And actually, this is a struggle with me just in general. I'm a procrastinator. I wait to the last minute, and I'm trying something new with this. I'm actually recording these early, and then, you know, I can hold off on editing them and take my time with them. So, and this is new for me. So it's something brand new that I'm trying. And hopefully, if I can keep the pace up, I will have regular content at least once a week. And, you know, again, that is going to be my biggest struggle, is actually just keeping the content coming. Where else can we find you? As I mentioned before, every social media site that I am a part of, I use Regular Guy 5 MB as my sign-in. So any site that I'm a part of, just look me up under that. I keep a list of links down in the regular spot in the description. So if you're looking for me on any other site, more than likely the link will be down there. I need to add Goodreads now that I think about it, but that will be down there by the time you watch this. So check the regular spot. I'm all over social media, so look me up. All right, so that's going to be it for me this week. And as always, I hope you're all well, and I will see you next time.